Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up, a special guest here in the studio. But first, let's take a look at our weather. Brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard, and hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs. High today, 81, low 69. Let's take a look at that all-important water temperature at the end of the pier. Brought to us by Alco Electric out of Lynn Haven. Folks, it's right at 79 degrees. It's looking really good and steady for about 2 weeks. It's been at that mark. So a lot of fish being caught off the pier right now. The river reading is brought to us by the good folks at Panama City Coca-Cola. We're looking at the Apalachicola Bluntstown. How about a 5.3 this morning? Got a little bit of a drop to it. And over here at the Choctawhatchee at Caryville, it's in great shape. I mean, it's leveled out to 2.6. Now, with that being said, all this rain coming in for the next few days, the Choctawhatchee definitely will be going up for the weekend, looks like, if all the rain does come through. And the Apalachicola should be good for the next couple of days at this reading, because we don't know what they do at Chattahoochee, but we'll see. The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. One word, neap tides. Neap tides the rest of this week. Don't forget the full moon of May is next Monday night. So if you can get some fishing done this week before the full moon, try and do it, especially fresh water. Our wind's going to be coming out, starting out of the east, switching to the south at about 10 or 15. So you see how things are going to be moving around a little bit of not quite as stable as it has been the last week or two. Let's take a break. We'll come back with our special guest. Okay, welcome back and welcome to our yearly guest, Dr. Jeremy Zinceri. Welcome back.
Thank you. Honor to be here as always, and I'm just happy to be with the living legend himself.
Oh, please. Listen, we love bringing him on. And I told him a while ago, I said I probably should have got some Band-Aids and put all over the nose, put all the bandages on, because usually when I leave his place, that's what I look like.
Oh, man.
But he is really taking care of us, our family, and I know a lot of y'all use him now, and we appreciate it. But more important, he's such a good guy. He's great about coming on the show and sharing different things with us, and he loves the outdoors, and it's just really good to have you back.
Like I said, I wouldn't miss it.
Okay, and listen, he's changed locations. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but right now we're going to talk about, you know, just in life in general, you have kids and they do some things growing up, you know, that sort of unexpected at times, and you somehow got a dog, or what? Tell us that dog story. I cracked up when he told me.
Yeah, it's one of my most, it was one of the most embarrassed I've been in a long time, but it turned out for the best, I guess. But we went to a Ducks Unlimited banquet, and my daughter showed up a little bit after the dinner, just in time for the auction, and somebody was wise and brought some puppies to auction off, and which I thought was a little funny. And my daughter comes running up with this English Cocker Spaniel puppy. I said, "Don't even think about it, put it back." And as the auction goes on and time came for the puppies, I was sitting there having a conversation with a friend, and I see a paddle at my table go up, and it turns out my daughter had bought the puppy. And I was furious, but it turned out to be a pretty good dog, and the family loves it, and we're happy it happened. But at the time, I was fit to be tied. I couldn't believe it.
What a great story. We have a picture now. Okay, let's take a look at this picture. This one is the result. Tell us about this. What's the dog's name, first of all?
The dog is named Gunner.
Okay.
And that was my youngest son, Caden there. He's 8, or he's 9 actually. But his first quail hunt, so it was Gunner and Caden's first quail hunt. Colton's been at it before, but we went out, and one thing that impressed me the most was that how much natural ability that dog had just to get in a bush and in a covey and chase him up, which I'd never seen anything like it, but he just naturally did it. That was before he had any kind of training.
It's amazing.
And he just was in every bush trying to shake him up, and it was impressive to see. But it was a fun day, fun hunt. After about 5 minutes with a new dog a new hunter and a relatively new hunter, I knew I was in over my head, and I just kept my gun in the truck. I said, I'm not shooting anything today. I'm chasing kids and dogs.
Into the guy.
Exactly.
You're the guy. I understand. But listen, the dog, you're talking about its natural ability to do that. That's always fascinates me, those bird dogs, the different species and all, but they absolutely love doing it.
Loves it.
They don't, isn't that what's crazy? I mean, now, do you, when you had this quail hunt, did you go back after that, or was it just rested up, or did y'all go back another time or two, or just was this?
That was the first time. I haven't had a chance yet again, but we're itching to go. Itching to go, and I'm gonna start just taking them out and about in the woods and trying to get them busy chasing birds.
So the dog's an important part of your family now.
He is probably the most important part of our member at the moment. He gets the most attention anyways.
He don't give you money to talk, if he don't talk back or anything like that, just glad to see you.
No, he's the only one that can get away with peeing all over the place and still be spoiled rotten.
That's funny. And your boys are shooting that little over and under gun. Little over and under, is that 20 gauge or?
The youngest was shooting a 410.
410.
Yeah. So before we went out that morning, he had never shot a shotgun.
Yeah.
So we went out and I was also wondering if the dog was going to be gun shy or something. I figured that was my luck. We'd get this dog at an auction and then bring him home and he'd be gun shy. So I brought my son and the dog out at the same time and started working with the dog first, and then brought my son out, and he fired the 410 and got it on video, and he's just happy as could be, and I was happy as could be because the dog, as soon as that gunshot went off, he looked out and took off running after the pellet. So
that's crazy, but you're right. Sometimes they do get sort of gun shy. I've seen that happen, but man, once they acclimate to it, they take off.
He was ready to go. That was amazing. He's a great dog.
That's awesome. We always love good dog stories here on Panhandle Outdoors, and especially doing the family outdoor stuff, and that's cool stuff. All right, we got all kinds of pictures. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Sitting here with one of our sponsors here, Dr. Jeremy Zinceri of Sun Dermatology, and we're going to get to all that skin stuff later. Right now, we're having fun looking at dogs and fish and the fun part.
That's right.
But talking about fish, let's check out this picture here. Tell us about this one.
So this is my son Colton, and he's 11, going on 25. But I think I've created a monster here in the Panhandle because all he wants to do is fish.
I love it.
So this is him. I think yesterday he went to the water and caught him. I think he caught a redfish or two and a trout, and he just loves it. It's all he wants to do is fish.
Well, next time you got to bring him on the show and he'll talk about all his fishing secrets and how he's such a successful fisherman.
I would love
fishing
to.
Off the dock.
I would tell you he puts in more time than he puts in a lot of time.
He'll cherish these memories of the time he has to do this, and we know that. And that is so good that he's being able to do it.
Yep.
And but check out now, who's this guy right here?
That is Mr. Yellow Edge Grouper. No. So that is me. I had the opportunity to go out, and we were fishing for swordfish, and after that, it turns out they're a little tricky to catch. So while we were out there real deep, we went and caught. I didn't even know these fish existed, but a yellow edge grouper and a snowy grouper there, and they were in about 1,000 feet of water. And I was explaining, this is the first time I ever used an electric reel, and it felt like cheating. And I'll tell you what, I didn't want to reel up 1,000 feet, but at the same time, it was just so weird. You feel that nibble and then hit the button, and all of a sudden they're up there. But it was an experience for sure. But I'll tell you what, some of the best fish I've ever eaten in my life. Those were delicious. I mean, amazing grouper. It was delicious.
Well, you brought up a good point. The swordfish are a challenge to catch, but we always talking about having that plan B.
Yep.
That's a classic case of having a plan B, and look what you get to bring home.
Yep, it was great.
So that's a lot of fun. Well, this springtime. I've got summer coming up. We're going to talk about what y'all going to do this summer. But we got one more. I want to talk about it. Let's talk about your location and talk about this right here.
Yeah, so we just moved to a new building, and apparently it's a thing to have a grand opening or a grand reopening. And so we're doing that on Thursday, May 8th. So I guess that'd be tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And we're doing from 3:30 to 7, lots of raffles and giveaways and different things. It'll be fun for everybody except for me. And no, it'll be a good time. I look forward to it. But we just got the new building. It's right on 231. Convenient location, better parking. So we're excited to be there. It's got more room. It's a great location for us. It just kind of worked out and fell into place.
When I found out that's where he was moving to, I got tickled because the old timers, you don't go by address or anything. It's underneath the water. You know where the water tower is on 231? That's where it's at. That's what they would say.
That's exactly
don't worry
right.
about the address. It's up under the water tower up there.
That's
and
right.
That's exactly where it is. I mean, you're almost directly under it.
Yeah, if you shot it with the BB gun, it would leak out on my building.
That's right. That's right. But I've been there a couple of times, and I was telling him how his staff is just so, they go out of their way. And my granddaughter Ashley needed she had some skin problems, and she really needed some help real quick, and they were able to work her in even though it was later in the day, and I'll always remember that. So just great folks there, and they'll take care of you. And I'm not going to say it's going to be a painless trip, but we've done well the last few times. You haven't cut me, you haven't done too bad. But it's this time of year. That's why we have you on. So.
That's right. Well, we'll only cut you if it's necessary. I'll tell you that.
I know.
But sometimes in Florida here, it catches up with you, especially if you're an outdoorsman. It is hard to not get a lot of sun. So it's a good place to be a dermatologist and a bad place to be a dermatologist because I got to stay out of the sun myself. So it's tricky.
How long have you been here as a dermatologist?
Just over a decade now.
10 years.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Been in 10 years in the Panhandle and have loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
Learned a lot of fishing, especially saltwater. I had not really experienced growing up. I did a lot of freshwater fishing. So it was great to it's a whole new sport. And now I love bass fishing and everything, but it's hard to go bass fishing when you got saltwater in your backyard, you know.
Exactly.
So close to us here in the Panhandle.
I tell people about you, how good you are and everything. I said, by the way, now he's really a cowboy from Utah, but now he's a fisherman in Florida. He's run the whole spectrum there as outdoorsman. And I know we talk about how much fun we have in the outdoors and all, but also the price we have to pay if we don't take care of ourselves in the sun.
Yeah, cover up the best you can. I'm just like any other man. It's hard to put lotion on or sunscreen. It's just not in our DNA. And so I do my best to cover up what I can, long sleeves and whatnot. I know it's hard in the summer here, but it keeps me cooler wearing some of that gear with long sleeves. It keeps you cooler. But also it just protects you from the sun. And it is hard to do, but sunscreen, and I wear buffs if I'm out on the water, all that kind of stuff. But man, there's just so much. There's so much to do, and the weather's usually so nice that I get more sun than most dermatologists by far.
Do you?
I go to these conferences, and every dermatologist looks at me because they're pale white, and I got this little bit. I have a dermatologist tan. I wouldn't say I'm tan, but for a dermatologist, I'm probably more tan than most. But it's hard living out here if you're an outdoorsman and you're gonna get sun. So cover up, wear sunscreen, reapply it every 2 hours if you can, and just do your best. Try not to get sunburn. That's the main goal.
Yeah, that's interesting. You go to these dermatologist conferences and all. Do you have new research and all to share, or is everything pretty well?
There's a lot of new research in things like melanoma, some new targeted drugs that work pretty well. That used to be melanoma was a death sentence, and now if you had metastatic melanoma, and now more and more people are surviving with some of the newer medication that's out. So that's been a good thing for our
That's good news. Sure. I'll tell you what I really adopted a good while back is between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. I mean, you told me, no, you need to go 9 and 3. But that is, I really am very, very aware of it then.
That's awesome, that peak sun at noon is much more brutal, obviously, than the early morning or late afternoon, and that's when I try to go out as well. Every little bit counts, and man, it adds up, and especially when you're real young. My son, he's out there all the time. And normally I'd complain about him having long hair, but I'm grateful for it.
I thought about that. I want to let mine grow out a little bit.
Okay, don't cut it, son. Don't cut it.
My dermatologist told me to let my hair grow out.
That's right.
That's a new treatment.
I still get on him about, and he's pretty good about wearing long sleeves and sunscreen and hats.
And that's another thing, the long sleeves.
Yeah.
And I tell you what sneaked up on my generation is like when you're driving and all on a long trip, you never thought about that sun coming in over here.
Yeah.
We talked about that before.
Yep. Yeah, that driver's side window, it goes right through the glass. You would think you'd be protected by glass. Tint can be helpful, but again, you're probably still getting a little bit. And the other thing that I always tell people that I didn't realize until I went to doctor school is that the reflection off the water. So even if you're wearing a hat to shade you from the sun, you're still getting a lot of reflection off the water. So it's still important to wear sunscreen and cover up at least the parts that you want to keep. And most specifically, I recommend covering your nose and your ears because they're hard to reconstruct surgically. So if you want to keep those, put some sunscreen on them.
That's the part you want to keep. Don't worry about that.
That's right. If you don't want to keep it, fine. Don't cover it up, but otherwise cover it with sunscreen or clothing or something.
I'm glad you brought it up. That reflection, and we take it for granted, especially when you go deep sea fishing. I'm on a boat. I got a little cover on. I call it old Florida Queen. I thought it was in good shape, but man, that sun just bouncing back at you.
Yep.
And you realize right away you're getting sunburned.
Yep.
All right, take our final break. We'll be right back with Dr. Jeremy Zinceri. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a quick look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at 8:10 to 10:10 this morning and this afternoon or late tonight, really 8:30 to 10:30 tonight. And we're talking about all kind of outdoor stuff and all with Dr. Zinceri. I love having doctors and lawyers, all these people who do different things for us. I love having them as outdoorsmen, and we're blessed for that. So I was asking him, I said, what's your vacation plans and what's your this summer?
I've got a medical conference for the American College of Mohs Surgeons, so it's in Nashville next week or two. So far, that's all we have planned.
Okay.
It's more work than play, but Nashville's a fun place to go, so we'll try to make the most out of that. But it's a great conference, and I tend to learn a lot from it. And it's the first live conference that we've had because of COVID and the mess and all that stuff. So we haven't had a live conference in a while. So it'll be good to go to it and check it out. I look forward to that. But we need to do a fishing vacation. I'm hopefully actually in the works trying to maybe line something up for like a Costa Rica trip.
Oh man, that would be fun.
But right now it's all a dream, and I got to make it happen.
Well, my first question I think about when you're going on vacation in Nashville, who's going to dog sit? Have you thought about that?
Well, my kids are going to stay. It's a quick trip, so my kids are going to stay behind, and we'll have a nanny watching them.
Okay, so you have
the dog will stay with the kids, and he'll watch the kids and keep them busy.
All right, good deal. I know we're talking about how much fun we're having outdoors, and I know you love to catch redfish and trout.
Yep.
And so, what you going to do? Any kind of little inshore fishing this summer? Or?
Most definitely. I think I came on the show probably, I don't know, it was a long time ago, and I was talking to you about fishing for redfish, and you said, go out to the pass in a full moon, and I did that, and man, I had a blast. So that's definitely on the agenda. My son has never done that with me, and it is a lot of fun to do if you've never done it. But man, some big bull reds, and they're fun to catch.
Yeah.
They're hard to catch. But they're fun to catch, and so we'll definitely do some of that this summer. I got to take him out and show him the way.
That'd be a lot of fun. Now your office staff, you got about how many folks are working with you?
Around 20, anywhere from plus or minus 5, so 15 to 25, depending on. We take a lot of students. A lot of students will rotate through, and so that number kind of varies depending on the time of year. But we typically employ about 20 or so.
I know some of those girls are outdoor girls. I know some of them.
So Shannon, who's kind of one of my main assistants, she is fair-skinned and loves to fish. And I said that is a bad combination, but she loves it, and so I love it for her. So her and her husband spend a lot of time on the water. Yeah. And in fact, a lot of times, you know, for me, saltwater fishing being so new, I have a hard time identifying species of fish and whether they're in or out. I can't keep track of it. I have the app and all that stuff, but if I catch something I don't know what it is, I'll call her husband and say, "Hey, Brian, what is this?" And he'll within a couple seconds respond, "It's this, and here's the limit." And I'm like, "Okay, perfect." So, but she's great. She loves fishing, and
that's awesome.
And we have a good time talking about it.
Well, I'm going to tell you real quick. When I leave here today, I'm going to be speaking to these seniors at Mosley outdoor ed class and all. Coming from a dermatologist, I'm going to tell them what would you advise for them as 18-year-olds and that. As far as just taking care of your skin and all?
Yeah, don't get sunburns.
No, just simple as that. Don't get sunburned, and a lot of them do it at that age.
Yep, it's easy to happen, and I think that generation's been brought up a lot differently than we have. As far as it wasn't really a big thing growing up to even put on sunscreen, and so I think this generation has more experience with it. I will say that there's some funny stuff that happens on the internet about whether or not sunscreen's good for you or bad for you, and I will tell you it is good for you.
Okay.
If you have any concern about it, use a physical blocker that has zinc or titanium as an active ingredient, and that stuff is as safe and as good for the environment as anything. The whole chemical blocker is a totally different discussion, but sunscreen does not cause skin cancers.
Yeah.
It does not, absolutely does not. And if you want to find out, just talk to people who've never used it and spent a lot of time in the sun and how many skin cancers they end up with. But compared to this generation, which I think has done much better of covering up and wearing sunscreen.
Great point. You're hearing it from an expert, a guy who sees it every day. And so that's good. And again, this summer, we're at that point now where days are long, and this summer we all have to wear that. Buff is harder for me to put on, but I know I do it.
Yeah, me too.
Even when I'm out mowing on a tractor or something, anything.
Yep.
And, that's so important. And our goal is to put you out of business, I guess.
Bravo, yeah, do it. There's enough other stuff like acne, and there's always something for dermatologists. But as far as skin cancer goes, we would all love to be put out of business. Don't get them, please.
Okay, well, we got to start wrapping things up. I always appreciate coming on. One thing, I love hearing the outdoor stories and about the dog and the quail hunts and you catching the fish and all. So next time you come on, but we will have some more stories.
I can't wait.
Meanwhile, I'll see you. I'll go every 6 months now.
That's right.
Every 6 months. Y'all, you taking new patients?
Absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
We need them.
I'm telling y'all to take care of yourself, and I will give you all kind of testimonials. So catch it early.
Amen. Yeah.
Catch it early. Really
For sure.
do. That's so important. Well, thank you so much. And
thank you. Always enjoy it.
Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
Thank y'all for watching our show. We appreciate your viewership. Y'all do something good for someone else today. You have a great day. Enjoy the outdoors. Take care of it. And God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.